Hi. So that just happened. Well, I kind of wanna, I kind of wanna go through some of the thoughts I've been having about this. So Austria won Eurovision, which is great because that was actually my winner. That was my favorite song of the whole contest. Great stuff. But there was a bit of a situation. The results as a whole were very, very strange. But Israel got second, and they were very, very close to winning, and this just made a lot of people very uneasy for understandable reasons. I kind of want to, I want to be clear here. I'm not going to go into my full opinion on the whole Israel-Palestine situation. I think it's a lot more complicated than a lot of, I don't want to say online activists, but a lot of people just kind of look at things in a very basic way, and there is a lot of nuance and complexity to geopolitical situations in general, and I think that, I can just say I think what Netanyahu is doing is obviously bad, and if you don't think it's bad, then you're a little weird. But again, that's just kind of I'm not gonna go too in depth on the whole, because I have very complex and long thought out thoughts about it. I did kind of rant about it on my Discord, so if you join my Discord, 18 plus, link in the description if I remember to put it. You can see my rant, but anyway, basically, I want to talk about this from the Eurovision perspective, and I want to talk about some of the responses I've been seeing to this. I've been seeing a lot of people say that JJ, who's the winner from Austria, saved Eurovision, and that, if Israel won, Eurovision would be ended. And I don't know. I think this is an interesting thing. I think my opinion is that people are saying Israel should have been banned because of the political context. It's like it's a very tricky thing because like Ukraine got sympathy votes in 2022. And I'm not trying to say that they're the same because they're not, and I'm not going to go into, why Ukraine is the victim and, Israel in some context is not the victim. It's like, it's a complicated, like, anyway, but what they're doing to Palestine is obviously they're being the aggressor in that context, right? Whereas Ukraine is clearly not the aggressor. But, like, okay, what I'm trying to say is that Ukraine still got sympathy votes because that is inevitable. When there is a conflict, people are going to vote, and the song was not political, in 2022. As far as I'm aware, Stefania was not a political song, but like it was going to get sympathy votes. So, I think that's really interesting that it's like we can discuss sympathy voting and we can discuss, there's a lot of like political block voting. There's even like political block voting in the juries, which is obviously not cool. It's like, why is the Azeri jury giving Israel 12 points? Like, it feels like a jury is supposed to be unbiased. And, like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. I don't like that. But it's just, like, they got so high because of the televote, not because of the juries. And a lot of people are saying that they got ads and that they spent a lot of money on an ad campaign, which I think is not good. I don't think that, maybe for the sake of Eurovision, maybe they shouldn't be allowed to run ads. I don't know. There are a lot of ways. There's accusations of bot voting. I don't know if there's any way to like prove that, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was bot voting because it wasn't just about Israel. Like the whole televote was very, very weird. But would not be shocked if bot voting was a thing. But I just kind of wonder, like, what's going on, with that. I don't know. I personally think that you know, it's like I believe they should make more restrictions on, oh, you can't vote a certain number of times from the same IP address, or like, you know, there should be more bot restrictions in place. Maybe have like a verified email or something to have to vote. I don't know. There are ways that they can try to restrict. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect. There's always going to be bots that slip through. There can be ways that they can try to restrict bot voting. I also have seen a lot of people saying that 20 votes per person is too much. I can kind of understand where that's coming from. I see why they do it, because, oh, people want to vote for different countries. But when people are just voting 20 times for the same country, it's a little weird. I remember in 2024, I was so worried about Israel winning that I voted 20 times for Croatia. I actually did not vote in this grand final because I wasn't worried about Israel winning, because they weren't very high in the odds. And, you know, the odds were just so off this year. I just didn't vote in this grand final because I didn't care. But I mean, if you're having to vote 20 times to counteract another country, that's not voting for a good reason. I did vote in the semi. I voted for the second semi. I voted for Lithuania and I think Austria. I think I voted for Lithuania and Austria in the second semi. Anyways, should have voted for Czechia, because I'm still mad that Adonis didn't qualify, but I digress. Anyway, but kind of want to, you know, go back into the idea of like, so I'm saying there's a lot wrong with the voting system. There's issues with the juries, there's issues with the televoting. There are things that need to be changed, and I agree with that. But people saying that Eurovision would be over if Israel won. Now, I don't want Israel to win. That would feel very shitty. But, like, do I think Eurovision would be over? No. And my reason for thinking that is because of a couple of reasons. One, and I know that, like, oh, Israel itself, they're not being actively invaded like Ukraine. They're the ones doing the invading. However, you know, they were attacked October 7th and other incidents, you know, they have been attacked, which is obviously not okay. And just being in close proximity to a conflict, you know, I could see the EBU, you know, if Israel did win, I could see the EBU not wanting to host. I mean, I'm hoping this conflict will be over by next year, but I don't have high hopes for that, considering we elected an orange to be president. But and no one, like, just, yeah, the state of global politics is kind of a mess. Anyway, I'm just trying to say that because the only way to like stop this is to like somehow get like Netanyahu removed from office. And I don't know. I'm just again, there are more systemic issues, you know, than just one guy. But I'm getting off topic. So like obviously more than anything, I just want the shit to stop, like, for the sake of, like, you know, all the people who have been hurt. I mean, obviously there's nothing they can do to fix the people that have already died and all that, but, like, they should still fucking stop, you know. So, like, more than anything, you know, the best solution would be for Israel to stop invading, you know, then we wouldn't be talking about Eurovision like that. Like, in the grand scheme of things, I know you see people saying ridiculous stuff like JJ saved Europe and the entire world, and I'm like, bro, are you serious? Do you actually think that, like, World War III would start over a song contest result? Like, do people actually think that? like, out of all things, that could be a trigger for, like, war, global warfare, like, a fucking song contest. No. Like, or if they're saying it jokingly, it's like, yeah, but if you're saying it jokingly, like, oh, JJ saved Europe, or he saved Eurovision, it's like, should we be more worried about, like, the actual, like, lives that have been affected by this conflict and not a song contest? Like, as a whole, it's a little disingenuous. Yeah, I just kind of, but the whole, like, so if, let's just say this, if Israel won, I was referencing Ukraine because of how Ukraine did not host in 2023. Ukraine won in 2022. And they did not host in 2023 because of the conflict, so the runner-up country hosted. I could very much see something like that happening, like if they determined that Israel was not a safe place to host during this time, they could definitely not they might choose to not host it there. The other thing is that the only reason, and people don't seem to understand this, they're like, well, Russia was banned for political reasons. Why can't Israel be banned for political reasons? It was like the only reason that Russia was banned was because so many countries threatened to withdraw from Eurovision if Russia continued participating. And I think there's a conversation to be had about the hypocrisy and double standards of how pro-Russian propaganda and pro-Israel propaganda are treated in Europe, because there is propaganda in both cases. I can acknowledge the issues being there being nuance to these things, but there is still clearly propaganda going on. I don't know. I'm just trying to say that, like, these people seem very sympathetic to Israel and not sympathetic to Russia. And they're sympathetic to Ukraine, who's being invaded, but they're not sympathetic to Palestine that's being invaded. I just think it's weird. I'm not saying that's everyone. That's what everyone thinks. That's obviously not true. But, like, it seems that, like, considering how well Israel does in a televote, like, we can say some of that is through bot voting, some of that is through ad campaigns, but, like, still, it's still a lot. There's going to be a lot of genuine votes in there. And yeah, I understand that, like, Israel has a huge diaspora. That's part of it. Like, Ukraine had good results for years. Even before their conflict, they had a huge diaspora. That's just what happens. And that's totally understandable. But, like, I'm just saying, like, Georgia this year, which honestly should have been banned because their song was... I know you can say it's not political, but, like, it felt like Georgian Dream propaganda. There was a lot of shady shit. Like, Georgia probably should have been banned, let's be honest, for having a political song. However, the reception to that song, the reception from the European public was so just cold. No one liked that song. Everyone said that song was bad. And because, it's pro-Russia propaganda, and that was making... it's Georgian Dream propaganda, which is a pro-Russia government. That's making people upset, and it's like Europe clearly did not vote for that, where they did vote for Israel. So I think there's a conversation to be had about the double standards for sure. Aside from that, though, not too much else to really say in that regard, but, like, I do think that, because of that, Russia was only banned because so many countries threatened to withdraw. Belarus was banned because they broke the rules. I believe Belarus, they had a song that was political and they were told to change it and didn't change it in time for the deadline or something. Now, as for, Belarus being banned for that year, as for Belarus continuing to be banned, I'm assuming it's a similar situation with Russia. It's like, okay, we don't support pro-Russian governments, and I'm not saying that's what the EBU is saying. I'm saying that's what these other delegations are saying. That's what these other broadcasters are saying, and the EBU is doing that to appease them. And that's what's happening. I don't know. I just think it's like, if Israel won, people are saying it would cause so much outrage that there would be a massive boycott, and then Eurovision would end because they wouldn't have any competition. I'm just like, okay, there's a couple of things. One is that I kind of doubt that the boycott would be nearly as massive as people want it to be. Maybe one or two countries would withdraw. I cannot imagine a situation where 12 countries are, like, trying to withdraw because of that. Now, as for audience opinion and audience boycott, there's definitely a good portion of the audience that would be upset by it, but there's also a good portion of the audience that clearly doesn't care or is pro-Israel. So, like, that portion of the audience, like, clearly the people that that televoted for her, like, I cannot imagine that they would lose so much viewership from that. I don't know. A lot of people are like casual viewers, or they're just watching TV or whatever. They don't care about who's participating. Like, I'm just saying, like, yeah, the chronically online fandom would be in meltdown mode, but like, like, are they gonna lose that much? And yeah, I guess if it was held in Israel, people wouldn't want to travel to Israel. But again, they may not even hold it in Israel. And on the counterpoint, if 12 or like if a shit ton of broadcasters genuinely threatened to pull out all at once, because that never happened to Israel so far. So far, it was like Spain was like, hey, we should discuss this. I believe Iceland threatened to pull out in 24, and then they didn't. It's like, okay, one country, if Iceland withdraws, I mean, well, what's that in the grand scheme of things? I'm not saying anything against Iceland, I'm just saying, yeah. That's just an example. I don't know. It's like, if that, now I understand a lot of the reason that the EBU, a lot of the reason that they keep Israel in the contest is for monetary reasons, because huge diaspora, huge votes, and also they're a sponsor, they're a Moroccan oil sponsorship, which is an Israeli company. But it would become, if like 12 countries threatened to withdraw genuinely, if Israel won, and as a result to this, like, you had 12 countries threatening to withdraw, and especially if it was like big five countries, like if it's Spain, you know, like, because, okay, if it's just Iceland, who, like, I'm not trying to say who cares about Iceland, but, you know, in the context, the EBU does not care about Iceland in the context of financial reasons. But yeah, if it's like a lot of countries, or it's like big five countries that are threatening to withdraw, it's like, at that point, it would be more economically beneficial for them to ban Israel than to keep that Moroccan oil sponsorship, like, if that many people were threatening to withdraw. So to me, it's kind of like, either nothing would happen and not enough people would withdraw and not enough people would boycott for it to end the contest. Sure, it would be tense, it wouldn't be very fun in the fandom, but, like, it wouldn't end the contest. Or enough people would actually withdraw that they would be forced to ban Israel. So, like, either way, I don't see it ending the contest if Israel did win. I just don't see it ending the contest. It's too big of an economic interest. They will do what is in their best economic interest, and if it is in their best economic interest to ban Israel, and I've seen some people saying that, like, maybe it would be a good thing if Israel won, because then enough people would boycott, and then the EBU would be forced to remove them. I'm like, I don't know if enough people would boycott. That's kind of my thinking. Because based on how, like, how the Russia situation panned out, and like how, oh, you got your pro-Russian propaganda with your Georgia song, you got your pro-Israel propaganda with your Israel song. It's like way more people voting for Israel, and also way more people being adverse to the Russian propaganda. It's just like, there's clearly a difference between how people see Russia and how people see Israel in Europe. Again, as a whole, not saying that applies to everyone. But I think it's like, my fear would be the worst scenario would be that Israel wins and then nothing happens because not enough people actually withdraw, and then they just win, and that's a thing. Like, I don't know. And yeah, I get, like, if they win, they can use the contest for their leverage, for their propaganda. They can, if they're hosting, they can use it for propaganda, which is bad. But, like, it's like, do we not have enough propaganda already? Like, if you're gonna fall for propaganda from a fucking song contest, you're probably already 6 feet under in terms of your opinion on propaganda. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, the people who are likely to fall for that shit have probably already fallen for it at this point. It's been 2 years. It's like, I don't know. Just, it's frustrating because there's so much nuance to the whole situation as a whole. But, like, just, people are like, oh, this would end the contest. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it would end the contest. I really don't. And another thing I want to kind of point out is Israel actually had less televote points this year than they did last year. It was just that there was not a clear jury winner this year because it was split between Austria, Switzerland, and France. So it's like there was not a clear jury winner this year, whereas last year it clearly, everything went to Nemo. So, I think that, because of that, I think because of that, you know, they were closer to winning just because there were less points. Because I believe Austria only had like 400 something, whereas Nemo had like 500 points. I don't remember. I'm just saying like there were less points being pulled towards the winner. So Israel came closer to winning despite actually having less televote points. It's like people are saying like obviously Ukraine is a huge diaspora. Obviously they're gonna do well. And people are like, Ukraine won the first semifinal and not Sweden. It's like, yeah, they have a huge diaspora. People are also acting like Ukraine didn't deserve to, like, do well. And it's like, Ukraine's song is good, actually. It's like, you know, and I'm not trying to say Israel's song sucks. It's very boring. It sounds AI generated. The lyrics sound AI generated. Ukraine's song is, like, actually artful and interesting. It's gonna do well with juries, too. Should have done better with juries, honestly. But again, my point is that people act like Ukraine also did well only because of like sympathy votes. It's like, no, that their song was actually good. But yeah, they have a huge diaspora, and that's one of the reasons they're gonna do well. And that's just how it is. It's gonna be the same with Israel. Israel's gonna do well even if they're not getting sympathy votes because they have a huge diaspora. They got third in 2023 before all of this happened. And with Noah Carell, and like that song was a real showstopper. I mean, you can tell why. Anyway, I'm just saying, like, they've had a huge, you know, they won in 2018. They've had a huge diaspora. Basically, I feel that the Ukraine thing, it's like, but in terms of like, oh, in the final, they're not getting as many televotes, you know, it's not like they're having this overwhelming televote response anymore, so it's like, in some ways, the sympathy voting for Ukraine has dried up in some ways. I mean, obviously, they're still going to get lots of televotes regardless because of the diaspora, but like, and the fact that Israel actually got less votes this year than they did last year, despite them being closer to winning because of the point split, as I said, you know, it could just be that Israel's sympathy vote, I mean, from October 7th and all that, could just dry up. And it is very possible that they could just get less televotes next year. And, you know, that is just very possible that they continue to get less televotes until they return to, like, a pre-2024 televote numbers. You know, that is very possible. Because that's happening. Another thing I kind of wanted to just say is like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I feel like Ukraine's song is actually good. I don't know, man. I feel like, yeah, this whole situation is a huge mess. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I have feelings about it. It's like, basically, yeah, just kind of looking at the results as a whole, it's like we need to change how these things work. It's just the results were a weird mess. The televoting results were so weird. Like, okay, in the first semi, it was Ukraine winning. Everyone thought Sweden would win the semi. And then, like, the second semi, and also, like, Sweden had, like, 50% odds overall by the end of the contest, and of course Austria wins. The second semi, because Sweden did not do as well as in the televote as people thought they were going to do. The second semi, it's like Israel won, of course, which makes sense. Latvia was second. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I thought Latvia's song was really good, but, like, it's a folk song. It's more niche than, like, Austria had a huge following. Who else was in that semi? Not just Austria. Oh, yeah, Finland was in that semi. Like, just, like, these huge songs that were, like, super crazy. And, like, Latvia just getting, I'm like, okay, cool, good for them, but what the hell? Belgium finishing 14th in their semi, like, what? Very weird. Just, like, just a lot of, like, weird stuff, even if the semis, and, like, the final results are so strange, like, Estonia third, Estonia almost second, like, I get the staging was very memorable. It would have been so annoying if I would have preferred them winning over Israel, but, like, I'm glad it was Austria, not Estonia, because, like, their song was so, like, goofy. And I'd rather have, like, a serious song win. I don't know, that's just how I am. I guess my taste is more in line with the jury's, because I was not feeling Sweden's song. I will say in 2023, I do think Katja should have won. I think he should have done better with the juries, too. I think Cha 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 is, like, a very unique song. Like, Tattoo is kind of a not unique song. It's a good song. I like Tattoo. But, like, and the staging was really good. But, like, I think the juries were wrong in 2023. I think they were right in 2024, though. The code is incredible. I'm biased. I'm biased because I'm non-binary, and I'm like, ooh, But I actually genuinely like the song. I like how it sounds. I like all the different elements of it. I mean, it wasn't my winner. My winner was always Veronica, but I knew that had no chance in hell. But the code is fantastic. They did the juries were so right last year. And I know people were mad about Croatia. I'm like, but I like Croatia's song last year. It's like, I feel like there's this frustration as well of, like, oh, it's always Western European countries winning, and like where's we can't have these Eastern European countries winning, and that's kind of frustrating. I can totally see why that's frustrating, but I mean, I guess Estonia winning would have been cool for that reason. But, like, outside of Estonia, the only other country that would have won is Sweden or Israel. But, we're not. That's a whole other discussion. And, like, Sweden has a lot of wins. Like, it would have been cool for Kai to win because, like, they were a different kind of group for Sweden. But, like, I don't know. I just feel like overall, Sweden, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say, like, I guess Estonia was the only one that had a chance, which I didn't like their song. I didn't think their song was winning worthy. It would have been cool to see Albania win. That's the one I would have been most, now Austria was my favorite song of the season, but I think it would have been really cool to see Albania win. And Jerem has definitely grown on me. But, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about it. I just feel like I can see the frustration from that. Like, oh, it's always the same countries that win. Like, I think this is Austria's. I'm not sure how many wins Austria have. I know they won in 2014 with Conchita Wurst. I know that was a thing. But I know this is also a big deal because I believe JJ is Filipino. So this is, like, also a big deal for that community as well. So just, like, and, like, last year was a huge win for the non-binary community, and just the LGBTQ community in general. So I'm not mad about the winning results at all. I just have so many questions. Finland, what the fuck happened? Erica was so good. Dude, that second semi, the fact that Erica didn't win the second well, okay, I know Israel won, but, like, the fact that she wasn't second in that semi. Latvia, of all and again, I love Latvia, don't get me wrong. Latvia's song was great. But, like, Erica's performance was absolutely insane. The whole crowd was going nuts. I was like, this is winner potential. And then suddenly it's, like, 11th in the final. Like, what the fuck happened? Or as Remember Monday would say, what the hell just happened? I'm like, what happened to Erica, dude? Italy 5th place with that milquetoast song. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god. No, I do get the song's very nice, but like, it's not for me, man. What the hell? I mean, it was nice to see, Albania top 10, Greece top 10, nice to see. It was nice. Switzerland was so weird. It's like, how can you get a top 10 result and have 0 fucking televote points? The juries were just all over Switzerland. I think it would have been really funny if Switzerland won again. But France didn't do as well as I was hoping. I was hoping France would be like top 5, right? And also France, they're so hungry. They keep sending like their big names. They are trying so hard to win. It's like, France, they gotta send, I don't know who they gotta send at this point. Like, I don't know, whoever the biggest French singer is. Like, I don't know, man. I don't keep up with French music, but like, at this point, they have to send someone huge. I don't know, it's just, and even like sending established acts doesn't always work out, because like Ollie Alexander last year, like that didn't work out. I think something we've learned from the last couple years as well is that overt male sexuality doesn't go over well. And like, between like Ollie and like this year it was like Gojo, like it didn't go over all too well. People were not a fan of that song. I don't know. It's a weird, I'm trying to think of like which songs, like, it's like, it seems to be the male sexuality more than the female sexuality. I mean, maybe Erica underperformed as well, which is surprising. Malta really underperforming. Like, I'm sorry, what do you mean the public gave her 8 points? Why was everyone not screaming Kant? Like what the hell? Dude, Malta underrated as fuck. I'm glad they made it to the final, because like Malta had been on like a bit of an NQ streak there. Happy Denmark made it to the final. Yeah, honestly, the qualifiers outside of like, oh, Israel shouldn't have qualified. I don't just mean that because of the whole political thing. I mean that their song was boring as fuck. Outside of that, and outside of Czechia not qualifying, I genuinely thought the qualifiers were really good. It's just like, also, yeah, Belgium. I would have rather had Belgium. I liked Azerbaijan, dude. I'm the only one who liked Azerbaijan, apparently, because they finished last in their semi. I don't know, I like Mama Gama, dude. I love Cyprus, man. I would have rather had Cyprus than San Marino, I can say that. Clearly no one cared for a DJ act. I'm hoping no one else tries to send a fucking DJ act to Eurovision, because that was just cringe, man. That was just extremely cringe. It's like, dude, it's like the mafia fucking grabbed these 2 guys off the street and were like, you gotta sing for us. I know they just didn't want to show their faces, but it's just, and then having this guy just fake DJing for 3 minutes, like, what the fuck? It's bad, okay? I do wish they would let people play real instruments on stage. I don't know why they got banned. I just learned that this year that they were banned. It's like, I'm sorry, but like, when you have a band like Catharsis, what are the other members doing? It's like, if you can't play real instruments on stage, it's like you have the guy singing and then everyone else is just kind of miming and they're walking around. It's like, what are you gonna do? Abor and Tenna from Germany, it's like Abor is just playing this fake cello the whole time and doing nothing, and then Tenna's singing, you know? And that's fine, but it's just like, it feels so disingenuous. I don't know, man. It's like when your whole staging is around playing an instrument and then you can't even play the instrument. It's dumb. I don't know. I just think it's dumb. Anyway, that's about it. That's about all I want to say. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Do you guys think that Eurovision will end if Israel wins? Who do you think will win next year? Who do you think will withdraw? Who do you think will participate next year? Do you think the EBU will have a discussion about televoting? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, those were some results. All right. Bye.